What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. Sam here with Gab and Maui. Hello, guys. Happy New Year. It's been a while.
Happy New Year! Nakabalik din.
Oo nga.
Yes.
Ah,
The UAAP keeps on giving. Here we
Oo,
go.
tama.
Mukhang
taon,
kagulo din.
maraming bagong chismis.
Mukhang kagulo rin like season
Balita.
86 off season.
Gusto natin yan, Maui, para marami tayong content at marami tayong mapag-uusapan. So, with that in mind, we are bringing back another of our segments. We are going to do Swak, Saks o Sablay, featuring some of the latest news that we've been hearing about the UAAP. If this is your first time listening to the episode, Swak, Saks or Sablay, it's a segment that was inspired by the Ringers mismatch, sina Kevin O'Connor and what's his name?
Chris Vernon.
Chris Vernon. So I will say a statement and then everyone will say swak if they 100% agree, swak na swak, tama yan, yung statement na yan. Or sablay if completely disagree sila, kalokohan yan Sam, airball yan, sablay na sablay. Or saks, kung 50-50 sila. And then Maui, Gab, just explain briefly kung bakit yun yung sagot niyo. Okay? So, let's start. Maybe, I would say at least the hottest or maybe the loudest rumor or storyline that we've been seeing or we've been hearing so far is about Jared Bahay's decommitment from UP. So, there have been, initially may news na Jared Bahay was thinking about his options, and then Coach Bo Perasol confirmed by tweeting na he has decommitted from UP, but surprisingly, no official announcement yet from Jared Bahay where he is going. But obviously, people are saying, especially yung sa statement ni Coach Bo Perasol, if you haven't seen yet, he did mention at the end na sabi niya, we're looking forward to the Battle of Katipunan or something like that. So, a lot of people obviously speculating Jared Bahay is going to Ateneo, going back to Ateneo. So, first statement, Gab and Maui. Ateneo, whether or not, hindi pa confirmed to, no? But whether or not Jared Bahay decides to go to Ateneo is the best fit for Jared Bahay in the UAAP. Swak, Saks, Sablay. Let's start the new year with Gab.
I want to say Swak. I really do, because I remember we had an emergency podcast, Sam and Maui, or was it you, just you and me, Sam? Around this time last year, diba? We had an emergency podcast when Jared Bahay announced that grade 11 pa lang siya, and he announced that he was going to go with the UP Fighting Maroons for college. And it was a big thing. Top high school recruit in the country going to one of the top teams in the UAAP. And actually the most talented team in the UAAP, in the UP Fighting Maroons. And nalala ko ron, si Maui came in late. Nalala ko to eh. Parang sumingit si Maui nung gitna ng podcast. Sabi niya, alam mo, who knows? Mahaba pa ang panahon. Yung mahaba pa ang ilang taon. And lo and behold, he's not going to UP anymore.
We're back.
So much drama, grabe si Jared Bahay. And you know that you're a top high school recruit because si Bo Perasol mismo ang nag-announce. Nag-release pa siya ng statement na sinasabi na hindi na siya pupunta sa UP. Which I found really weird. I mean, why are you announcing ahead of him? Why did you do that? But with regards to the statement, I would say saks lang ako. Now, here's why. Now you can say, diba, most people in social media, on X or Twitter, or even on Facebook and in the comments have been saying it's a no-brainer for him to choose Ateneo over UP because UP has so many guards. I think that's a negative effect of yung magic na ginawa nila with yung over-recruiting. Tama, Maui, yung over-recruiting. Plus the magic na ginawa nila with JD Kagulangan, who is apparently still staying with UP next season. So I think that's the blowback that they got. Si Jared Bahay was like, wait lang, diba? If you read Jared Bahay's statement from when he committed to UP, he was expecting JD not to come back. Diba?
Yeah.
That was exactly his words. Diba? He was expecting he was gonna take over the reins. Yeah, he did, Sam. He was expecting he was gonna take over the reins once JD Kagulangan graduates from UP. But now UP threw a curveball at the end of season 86 and basically said, no, JD has one more year with us. Diba? Yeah, he's still eligible for one more year. He went to a non-UAAP school and then transferred to UP. So he was not slashed off a year of eligibility. So that magic that they did with JD kind of bit them in the ass. And Jared Bahay, looking at the rotation in UP, saying, I don't have playing time here, diba? With how Coach Gold ran the rotations, diba? He was playing Felicildo over Kagulangan. And if Kagulangan's still there, where is Jared Bahay getting minutes? Again, the crowded guard rotation of UP, which kind of did them in. Now, while you could say that, no, na Ateneo is a better fit that way. I mean, Ateneo just lost Jared Brown.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think for the play style of Jared Bahay from high school, you could say I don't think he'll be getting the same numbers, the same stats in Ateneo as compared to any other school in the UAP who needs a point guard. For example, if you're going to like Adamson, despite having Matthew Montebon, they do need a point guard to replace the likes of Jerome Lastimosa. That guy, no? I mean, if he went to Adamson, he would surely get average around 18 to 20 points a game, perhaps get 5+ assists, be in the running for MVP in the season, diba? In Ateneo, he's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be that way with Coach Tab. You have to play within the system. You're not gonna be able to jack 20 to 25 shots a game. You're gonna have 10 to 15 shots a game. That's thinking positively. Yeah, that's being optimistic already. Yung tama ka, Mau, So, if you look at it that way, maybe Ateneo is not really the best fit for him. On the other hand,
good point.
If you're playing under Coach Tab, I would say that your development is in very good hands. He has shown that he can develop players not just physically or skills-wise, but also mentally. The way he teaches players how to play the game, how to think of the game inside the court, I think it's going to be pretty beneficial if Jared Bahay chooses Ateneo. Again, nothing's been confirmed by Jared Bahay himself or his family or his camp. This is all just the statement by Bo Perasol. Laki ka, Bo. But, for me, I'm just Sax. I want him to go to Ateneo, but if his goal is to play pro basketball and, rack up stats so that scouts will see him, and then he'll get a pro contract, possibly in the KBL or in the Japan Big B League or any other league outside the Philippines, I don't think Ateneo would be the best choice for that. Anyway, Maui.
Yeah. Ako, more on the optimistic side. I would say Jared Bahay going to Ateneo is Swak because of two reasons. The first reason is he's gonna be playing against Mason Amos. Mason Amos was his teammate sa under 18, so may level of familiarity na on how to play with a guy like Amos. And I think it would also be beneficial to Amos. I think there have been questions, rumors that he squandered during the off-season, that yung camp ni Amos didn't like how Ateneo was utilizing him on both ends of the floor. And having a guy like Jared Bahay, a true point guard, somebody that he has played, somebody who really made him a superstar no under 18 FIBA. I think si Mason Amos was the top scorer, if not one of the top scorers during the FIBA Asia under 18. And Jared Bahay was the point guard during that time, if you watched him. The number 2 reason is history. The history of point guards in Ateneo. They have all had high usage point guards. From Matt Nieto to SJ Belangel and to Fortsky Padrigao. I think that even if he's gonna play in a team that is built on a system, he will still rack up stats. He will be the front runner for the Rookie of the Year. And for that reason, I think that it's really Swak. I think Ateneo is the best fit for Jared Bahay. If his goal is to get to go abroad, Tab Baldwin has produced players that are really capable of going abroad. And yung history ni Tab with the point guards. If you watch the PBA, I still watch the PBA even if we have
wow!
Sometimes I still watch the PBA, especially
Let's make one Bolero yung out of 3 who watch the PBA.
No. I watch the PBA because
by the way,
I want to watch the players that I watched in college, both in the NCAA but mostly in the UAAP. So I followed the careers of Tyler Tio, I followed the careers of Matt Nieto, and they have had stellar careers also in the PBA as starting point guards. Jared Bahay going to Ateneo is a win-win situation for Ateneo because of their desperation, of losing Jared Brown and not having that capable, quote-unquote, starting point guard during season 86. I think he will slot into the role. I don't think that Espinosa or even Gab Gomez, a healthy Gab Gomez, will stand a chance with getting the starting point guard slot with Jared Bahay. Now, the question is, as Gab mentioned, is Jared Bahay really headed to Ateneo? That's another question altogether, di ba? Kasi right now, we're just playing Ateneans. I think all of the Ateneans are already rejoicing that Bahay will go to Ateneo. Di ba? Lahat are very happy because of the statement of Bo Perasol. But right now, we're still waiting on a statement from the Ateneo or maybe Jared Bahay's camp. Is he indeed going back to his original Bahay, di ba, the Ateneo? Kasi we have to say that Ateneo did not steal Jared Bahay. It's Jared Bahay deciding to play for Ateneo, his original home. Yeah, so I think really Swak for me yung Swak if Jared Bahay goes to Ateneo. I really think that the right coach is Tab Baldwin. Mm-hmm. Maybe LaSalle also could be an underdog, good placement for Jared Bahay just because Evanelli is not in the fold anymore. But we'll get into the other statements later with regards to LaSalle. Sam.
Yeah. So actually, I just wanted to add, no, Maui, yung first statement mo. Okay, sorry. First of all, I think I see both points, no, yung point ni Gavin, point ni Maui. Initially, I was gonna say Sax, but I'm gonna go with Swak. I'm actually gonna go with Swak. Wow. I agree with Maui's first statement. And Maui, hindi lang yun. Kyle Gamber is also there, who was also a teammate of Bahay.
Starting shooting guard nila.
In Gilas.
Mas malakas yung IG live ni Amos sa Gamber kaysa recruiting ng UP, pare.
And let's not forget, Jared Bahay's two other teammates from Cebu are in Ateneo, Celis and Rafi Celis and the other guy. Asoro, yes. Correct. So, add to that na, as mentioned by Maui, Bahay is from Ateneo, Cebu, diba? So, there is some history behind it, no? Yung teammates niya from Gilas, teammates niya from Ateneo, Cebu, and going to like another Ateneo school. So that for me is a good, is can be more comfortable for Jared Bahay. Obviously, as you guys mentioned, yung desperation ng Ateneo for a good point guard. He will not have that much competition, as we mentioned, sa Ateneo versus sa UP. Assuming na, this is more or less the players. Obviously, Ateneo will probably recruit a couple more players later on, but we don't know that yet. Why I shifted from Sax to Swak is because of the other rumors. Kasi if you remember, when we were talking about this, itong Maui, you first mentioned it sa chat natin, di ba? Uy, may bali-balita, Jared Bahay might change his mind. And I said, paano natin alam na Ateneo siya? Baka mamaya Lasal. That's, as you mentioned, Maui, that's the first school that came to mind. Kasi if we're talking about the best fit for Jared Bahay, it's a team that needs a point guard. That's number one. And as you mentioned, Evanele and even si Mark Nonoy are out of Lasal. So there's definitely space for a top point guard like Jared Bahay to come in. Second, Lasal is the defending champs. So if Jared Bahay wants to go to like a really good team, a team that has proven itself to become a championship team, championship caliber team, he can go to Lasal because they have the championship caliber coach and an MVP level player like KQ. So, Lasal could be a really, really great fit for Jared Bahay also. But we are also hearing other rumors about Lasal, which we will be talking about later, which makes me now think twice about Jared Bahay going to Lasal. So, I think just to add to what Maui said, feel ko Ateneo could be a great fit. But I understand Gab's point, no? Like, yun nga, Lasal at least in season 87 could be a good fit for Bahay. Other schools can definitely use someone like Jared Bahay. And imagine mo yun, Gab, if maybe it's a slim chance or walang chance, but if Bahay goes to Adamson, can you imagine yung rivalry ng Ateneo and Adamson? Grabe na yung animosity.
The Battle of the Birds, man.
Diba? Grabe na yung animosity between the two teams in the previous season, and then kung uni ng Adamson si Bahay, that would be very interesting for me. But I think slim chance yun. Anyway,
just a few more points. As a few more points from my end. First of all, regarding the statement of Bo Perasol, well, one, I thought it was pretty funny that he announced it without even Jared Bahay or his family saying anything. Second, regarding the external force, hindi niya inantay eh. So, that's funny. But regarding the external forces statement, I'm like, bro, you're the external force. What the hell are you talking about? Kaya yun eh. You're the primary external force to everything. You freaking got players from the NU high school basketball team. What the hell are you talking about? Yung other point, if Coach Tab freaking plays Ian Espinosa ahead of Jared Bahay. I am gonna... Wala daw hair yung mabunot, pero maghahanap ako ng buhok na para mabunot. Kasi, kung mangyari yun sobrang Coach Tab, please lang, huwag mo na ilaro si... Baka point card na lang si Espinosa, pwede na yun, pare. Huwag mo na start si Espinosa over if ever Jared Bahay. Don't do that. I mean, just don't do that. So, yun, that happens talaga. Magwawala ako.
Okay, but again, to be fair to everyone, wala pang announcement from Jared Bahay, no? That's why even the statement, sabi natin, Ateneo is the best fit. We're not saying na doon na pupunta si Jared Bahay. People are speculating na doon, but wala pa talagang official announcement from Jared Bahay. So we don't know yet. Okay, so baka lang sabihin ng mga tao na we're assuming
inuunahan natin. Kasi everyone from Ateneo is already rejoicing. Baka mamaya.
Si Coach Bo talaga may kasalanan nito eh. Si Coach Bo talaga may kasalanan eh.
Linito tayo ni Coach Bo eh, no? Like,
that statement, that last statement.
Oo eh. Linito talaga tayo eh. Coach Bo talaga. Sige, next statement. So, moving on from one top point guard to another. Merong rumors that Jacob Cortez is coming back home to his alma mater, the De La Salle Green Archers. So, the statement is, pero wala pang announcement to. Ito, wala pang confirmation. But he did say that there are UAAP teams courting him. Diba? Other teams courting him. So, the statement is, Jacob Cortez should stay in San Beda. Swak, Sax, o Sablay. And Maui, I know you're a big fan of Jacob Cortez. I know you watch a couple of I think you watched all the finals games. So I want to start with you on this one. Maui, Swak, Sax, Sablay. Jacob Cortez should stay in San Beda. Go.
I would say, Swak, he should really stay. It's not because LaSalle is not a good destination for him. If this was 2 years ago and this was a Jacob Cortez that we will see, probably LaSalle next year would be a perfect spot for Jacob Cortez. But the problem with me is I think he's already played 2 seasons in the NCAA. Then he will transfer to the UAAP. That's another season. Then he will have, I think, 3 playing years. But by the time he transfers to the UAAP, I think he will be 24 years old. I think we've been very consistent in the podcast when we say that we want the players to go pro earlier. That's something that I think all 3 of us have agreed, regardless if it's from Ateneo, from UP, or any team. Once they get that opportunity, our mantra is for them to take it. Kasi diba, the peak years of basketball players are not that long. So definitely, I think that Jacob Cortez is already in the perfect situation as the King Cub. They already have a nickname, Cool Cub, for Jacob Cortez. It just doesn't make sense for me for him to transfer to LaSalle, regardless if he gets a ton of money right now. Because I think San Beda is the best situation, the best school for him right now. I think Yuri Escueta has really developed him into an MVP caliber point guard. I think that's been proven this season. And imagine him playing one more season for a team that's also the defending champion of the NCAA. So it just doesn't make sense for me for him to leave San Beda right now, riding on that high. If he was going to go pro, it would have been a better option for me. Sayang kasi he's starting to peak and then he's gonna have a 1-year residency period. That could stunt his growth, that could stunt his momentum into going pro. So if you were to ask me, I would say definitely Swak that he has to stay in San Beda. Yep.
I have to agree, Maui. I think it's Swak that he should stay in San Beda. It's the perfect position for him. It's the perfect spot for him. He's the main guy on the championship team. Why would you go to another team in another league where you're not the main guy? I mean, presumably, no, if he comes in at season 88, according to Kevin Kiambao's tweet, he's still gonna play in season 88. I don't know if he's still within the age limit by that time, but he's not gonna be the main guy there. It's gonna be KQ. So, yeah, I mean, you're already in the Robert Bolick spot, Jacob Cortez.
Exactly. Good comparison ka. Jacob Cortez, Robert Bolick ka na eh.
Tama.
Robert Bolick went from LaSalle to San Beda and became a freaking superstar and made a hell of a career for himself. And I think Jacob Cortez, you have that in the bag already. I don't think a transfer is necessary. Wasting 1 year of your career doing residency just to play for LaSalle again, I don't think so. I think the way to go is maybe go pro already if ever he has. I mean, Migs Oxon has proven that players in the NCAA can get contracts in big leagues outside the Philippines. So why can't you? I mean, if you don't have an offer now, stay in San Beda, lead them to another championship, have an MVP season, dominate the NCAA, you'll get that contract. I don't get it. I mean, if you're already past 20, I think you should be looking on to going pro already. You should be looking at your career in basketball outside of the UAAP, outside of the NCAA. So I don't. Same with Maui. I don't get it. I don't get it if he transfers. I think it's gonna be a waste of 1 year. I think he should stay and play and help San Beda win, and then finally you get that contract, you get that bag. Yung tama si Maui. We've always been harping on this. Yung window mo for prime basketball earning potential is very small, and you should cash in as soon as possible. Sammy?
I 100% agree with the two of you. Swak na swak ito. Agree with what you guys said. Just to add for me, yung legacy. Yung legacy yung reason why Jacob Cortez should stay in San Beda. Number one, legacy niya in San Beda. He brought San Beda a championship this season 99. It would be nice for him to repeat sana in the next season. And imagine mo yun, season 100. That has to be a very special season for the NCAA, their 100th season. And ikaw yung magcha-champion, and ikaw yung MVP. And sana ikaw yung finals MVP. Because we know, Jacob Cortez was not the finals MVP in season 99, diba? So, imagine
James
the
Payosin,
legacy that you...
ang MVP.
Yes, correct. So imagine the legacy that you could have if you gave San Beda their championship in NCAA season 100, become the MVP and the finals MVP, diba? That's establishing your own. Second, related to legacy, if you do move to LaSalle, you will also be playing under the shadows of not just KQ, but your dad, Mike Cortez, who has built a championship team, who was a legend from LaSalle. And mahirap yun. Grabe din yung added pressure na yun. So, for me, Jacob Cortez, just carve your own path. Build your own path. Build your own legacy. You don't have to go to LaSalle and waste that 1 year. Yun talaga eh. Sa totoo lang, at the end of the day, it all boils down to that 1 year. 1 year siya matitenga. And he's not that young, di ba? And maganda yung nasabi mo, Maui, di ba? He is speaking at the right moment. So, might as well, ituloy-tuloy na niya. And go pro. Find a way to go pro. That's you guys
the
have been
ultimate
saying
goal.
it.
Diba? For
That's
all
the
of these
ultimate
naman.
goal. That's the best chance for you to make a living, diba? Is to build yourself and go pro abroad. So, Jacob Cortez, I get the allure of going to LaSalle, obviously. It's a championship team. They also have a good coach. But you have a good situation already. And sayang yung 1 year talaga at the end of the day. So, yun lang. Swak for me also. Let's go next statement. Let's move on. Actually, we have 5 statements today. Puro Ateneo and LaSalle yung magiging statements namin, to be honest. But what can we do? Most of the rumors dun nanggagaling. So we wanted to insert this one news about another school. Ito naman sa UST. Recently tweeted lang by Nabs Ganglani. No? So si Juno Soler is joining Pido Harencio's coaching staff sa UST. So we all know Juno Soler is a championship coach from LaSalle. So and we've been talking about, the issues with UST. So yung statement is this: Coach Juno Soler should take over the coaching job of UST. Swak, Saks, o Sablay. Gab.
Swak na swak. Swak na swak. I mean, come on, we've been saying this for a long time at nakayelo ka pa sa amin. We've been saying this for a long time. Coach Pido, I think your style of play is outdated. I think the connection that you have now with the players, I don't think it's that strong. I think the better position for you is to be a program director, head of athletics, whatever. Program head yung for basketball in UST, and just hand the coaching job to a younger coach who's maybe willing to implement a more modern style of basketball, a more creative style of basketball. Because honestly, in UST, the problem is, one, there's lack of talent, obviously, in UST. But also the very outdated style of play. We've been talking about this the whole time. It's all Nick Cabanero post-up, Nick Cabanero isolation, Christian Manaytay post-up. Not much of off-ball movement. Diba? Nothing happening to offset their lack of talent. And if Juno Soler, who's, he's a bit up there in age, but he's not as old as Coach Pido. But he's also a younger coach. Maybe he'll be more creative in trying to get the most out of the talent that he has. I mean, they already have 2 guards who are proven, who are coming in to help Nick Cabanero, assuming Nick Cabanero stays. So, yeah, I would want to see yung Juno Soler coach this team other than Pido. Maybe Pido can take on a consultancy role, and I don't know, anything other than coaching. I still think that a different voice in that locker room would be beneficial for UST. If it's Juno Soler, a proven coach, a championship coach, if that's the thing that they want, Coach Pido is also a championship coach in the UAAP. But yeah, 100% Swak. This is a no-brainer for me. A no-brainer. He should take over for Coach Pido. Maui.
Ako naman, Gab, I don't want to be the contrarian to you, pero Sablay for me na si Juno Soler will take over. If you look at the age of Juno Soler, it's 50. If you remember, they had a coach before Pido, si Coach Bal David. He's 51, so they should have the stick it with Coach Bal. But on the more serious note, yeah, I agree, Gab, with your statement. I think that UST needs that younger profile coach. I think that's been the case with most coaches in the UAAP and NCAA right now. The younger generation, the next generation of coaches have really thrived. I think si Coach Tab lang talaga yung old dog na medyo naiwan. But when it comes to successful programs like San Beda, Yuri Escueta, sa CSB, Charles Chu, even UP, si Coach Goldwyn is new in the college basketball. And LaSalle, it's Coach Topex. So it's really about next generation coaches. My thing with Juno Soler is I haven't really been following him. I think he's been an assistant coach for Magnolia for the past few years. My question with Juno Soler is the same question we asked with Pido. Will he be able to adapt to the new age basketball? We know that Juno Soler was also a rookie, I think a rookie champion coach for LaSalle back in the early 2010s. But will he be able to replicate and will he be able to adjust? I like the rumors of Eli Tenorio eventually becoming the coach of UST. I think that that rumor could materialize if Eli Tenorio decides to finally retire. Eli Tenorio decided to play another season despite recovering from cancer, di ba? He fully recovered and he played another season. Maybe next season, if UST continues to underperform, maybe we're right, Gab. Maybe it's gonna be Juno Soler, or maybe the rumors of Eli Tenorio taking over will come back. But yeah, I just think that maybe Juno Soler is not the right guy. We've seen a lot of coaches, even si Glenn Capascio, become assistant coaches in the UAAP. And I think it's for a reason. Generally speaking, right now, the next generation coaches have really outperformed yung old dogs, as we would call them, na coaches. And I think that UST should look more into their bag and try to get maybe a younger coach who has a lot of potential and bright new ideas. Sam?
I'm gonna go with Sax. So, iba-iba tayo. Swak si Gab, Sablay si Maui, Sax ako. Sax ako because I like Juno Soler in LaSalle. You mentioned Maui, he was a rookie championship coach for LaSalle. And I like that team when they won the championship. So I admire him for that. I know it didn't end well though. So medyo nagkagulo din. That's why he left or he was fired, whatever. So yun, medyo questionable. But I honestly like Juno Soler. And to Gab's point, he is a bit younger than Coach Pido, no. And I have to say na I've been saying this in the previous episodes na gusto ko si Coach Pido actually takes the Bo Perasol role, which is like the guy who recruits, the guy who manages the team. So I have to agree na sana iba na lang yung coach. I like Juno Soler, but yeah, to Maui's point, maybe he's not the best option, no. So that's why I'm Sax. You mentioned LA Tenorio, Maui. I'm gonna mention another coach under the San Miguel group. Ito naman old head din to, or matanda-tanda. Coach Olsen Racela, who was placed by SMEC sa Perpetual Atlas. Why did I bring Coach Olsen up? UST has a lot of really good guards. This coming season, they still have Nick Caballero. They're gonna have Fortsky. They're gonna have Paranada. Coach Olsen likes to play guard-heavy rotations. So, it would have been nice kahit assistant coach, pero it would have been better kung Coach Olsen na nag-UST siya instead of, Perpetual Atlas. Although, to be fair, wala akong alam sa NCAA. So, maybe he's a good fit there. But it would have been interesting lang, at least for me, to bring back Coach Olsen sa UST. So, that's why sucks lang ako. But I would have wanted to see that with all the talented guards of UST. By the way, I just realized, right, as of right now, no, mas maganda yung guard depth ng UST kaysa sa Ateneo.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Sakit.
No, I would say they probably have the argument for having the best coming to season 87.
Best guard depth.
Kasi it's Fortsky, Paranada, and Caballero. I mean,
best
Caballero.
Over UP? No, it's still UP, bro. It's still UP.
No. I mean, they have an argument.
Arguable.
They have an argument.
Fine, okay.
We haven't seen them play together, all three of them. So we'll see. I could argue that Fortsky could entering season 87 could be the top point guard for next season also.
Good point. Okay. Sige, that was interesting kasi iba-iba sagot natin, no? Let's move on to the second to the last statement. Let's go back to Ateneo. So, two guys left Ateneo, Jared Brown, Kai Balungay, both crucial players, both starters for Ateneo. Statement is, Ateneo will miss Jared Brown more than Kai Balungay. Maui, what do you think? Swak, Saxo, Sablay.
I think you know my answer. I think it's Swak for me. You guys have seen me harp on Mason Amos the past 2 years. I would say almost 2 years na, di ba? Kasi since under 18 pa lang si Mason Amos, I've been harping a lot about this guy. I think that he will definitely have. Ito na naman ako, baka parang kay Balungay. I mentioned last off-season that he was on track to be one of the top candidates for MVP. I would say that
MVP
Mason...
mo, di ba?
Yeah, my MVP pick. And you guys, I think, honorable mention nyo, or you agree that he has an argument. I would say that Mason Amos has that same argument for season 87 if Ateneo contends. That's the biggest question, di ba? I think that losing Balungay probably saved Ateneo from losing Amos. There were a lot of rumors when the season ended for Ateneo that Mason Amos could possibly transfer to another UAAP school or go back to Australia or whatever, wherever he's headed, di ba? I think even yung Korea or B-League Korea pala is not eligible, but even yung B-League could be an option for Amos. But yeah, I would say that this is nothing against Balungay. You guys know I picked him as MVP. I think that Ateneo losing Brown, especially if they don't get Bahay, would be a bigger blow than them losing Balungay. Just because they have Amos who plays the same position. They were, I mean, the whole season, di ba, we've been talking about how Coach Tab would play both of them. Mason Amos ended up getting the shorter leash, playing probably closer to high teens versus mid-20s than Balungay. I just think that Ateneo really lost a big guy, a big crowd favorite. I would say si Jared Brown from last season. This guy is very likable. This guy is very relatable. This guy was clutch mostly for Ateneo last season. This guy was that guy who took that shot when they didn't know what to do. It wasn't even Amos, it wasn't even Balungay or the others. It was Jiri. Ateneo really relied on Jared Brown a lot, especially nung end ng season. And I would say that it will be a very big blow for Ateneo. Imagine only Espinosa and Gab Gomez rotating as the point guard for Ateneo in season 87. That would probably be a disaster. Diba? Unless they take a really huge leaps this offseason, which I don't expect them to. So yeah, I would say that losing Brown was a bigger blow for Ateneo over Balungay. Gab,
do you agree?
Agree 100%. Swak ako dito. Jared Brown was so important for Ateneo, especially in that latter part of the second round. We were trying to make a run at the Final Four. Jared Brown had a bad game against LaSalle and we lost. In his good games, we won. Just because it's so important at how much Ateneo lacks shooting and playmaking.
Good point.
Because they play Sean Keteves a lot of minutes. So they need someone who can play, make, and shoot besides a guy like Sean Keteves and all the other guys in the lineup. He proved to be a pretty important player, a guy who could run the pick and roll, be that outlet for guys like Kean, Amos, and Balungay, and Obasa to get those open threes. Very capable three-point shooter. Espinosa was not. And that's the reason why when Jared Brown was taken off the floor, Espinosa struggled to run the offense because, Espinosa is not as good of an offensive player as Jared Brown. So I really think that, and to Maui's point, they have the more obvious replacement now for Kai Balungay in Mason Amos. So I don't think you're gonna miss Kai Balungay that much, despite the way he played. I mean, to Kai Balungay kasi, di ba, we were talking about it na he doesn't really do much on offense aside from shoot. I mean, he doesn't play make. He doesn't create his own shot. I mean, he's just a guy that you could pass the ball to and shoot and means and have some of those alley-oops. I think Mason can do that. I mean, he's also a bigger body than Kai Balungay. He's willing to bang inside. So, yeah, ako definitely Jared Brown will be missed more, especially yung sabi ni Maui, if Jared Bahay, tayo sa mga Jared, gulong-gulong na ako. If Jared Bahay does not come to Ateneo, man, it's gonna be a rough time watching the point guard slot with Espinosa and Gab Gomez. And I think that's why one of the reasons that Gab Gomez stayed. Okay, if Jared Brown is going, I have a shot here. I mean, he's a better shooter than Ian Espinosa. So maybe that's the reason why Gab Gomez stayed as well, which we didn't talk about here in this podcast also. But yeah, so we're going to shout out to Gab Gomez. And another thing with regards to this statement, Sam and Maui, both Brown and Balungay had, I think, one playing year left of one playing year. Diba? Tama? They had 1 year of eligibility left.
Two pa si Brown.
So they had playing years left. And I just want to address those Ateneans who kept on saying that they have no loyalty, they should have stayed, bakit 1 year lang kayo. That is bullshit. Okay? Just want to say that to all the Ateneans out there. Okay? The concept of utang na loob and loyalty to the school, to the program, come on, guys. I think that's a very, I don't know. I don't want to say toxic, but yeah, okay, fine. It's toxic.
Old school.
It's very toxic.
And toxic mentality.
It's an old school toxic mentality that, prevents players from making their own choices. Hindi naman dahil may years of eligibility pa yung kailangan nilang tapusin, diba? Or i-play out. No? Kai Balungay is married and is starting a family. He needs to have money. Why do you want him to stay in school, diba? Jared Brown is on the older side as well.
Older side.
Diba? So I'm sure he wants to make a living for himself as well.
Yeah.
And we don't have to take it against these guys when they choose to go pro or when they choose to seek better pastures outside of the school. So taking it against them, man, that's a bad move by some of the Ateneans out there. Don't take it against them, man. They play their hearts out for Ateneo and celebrate that. But there's no need to ding them for choosing themselves over the school. I mean, wala yung utang na loob. Come on, man. Do away with that. So, just wanted to get that out there. We didn't talk about this when the news came out. So, I just wanted to get that out.
I agree. Definitely, I agree with that statement.
Yeah, I agree also. We should be grateful. Buti nga, they chose Ateneo and they represented us and both these guys played really well. We needed Kai Balungay for that championship team, and Jared Brown saved us this season. We could have missed the Final Four without
Sabi ko
him.
sa'yo, mga Jared, yung nakakalito eh. Pareho silang Jared.
JB kasi pareho eh. JB, mamaya sabihin ko, Justin Brownlee or whatnot. But siguro, just to answer the statement, I agree with you guys, Swak. Siguro what makes it easy, as much as I want to swerve, hindi ko talaga magawa. So it has to be Swak. What makes it easy to pick Jared Brown over Kai Balungay? Despite Kai Balungay being very talented and very important to the Ateneo team also, is Kai and Mason kasi are very similar players, diba? Maui, you've been talking about this in the past na it can be difficult to play both of them at the same time. Si Kai and si Mason. So I think that's what sort of makes it lean towards Jared Brown. Kasi si Jared Brown, talagang you needed him eh. Medyo irreplaceable siya to the point nga na, good point calling out Gab, na if he has a bad game, most probably talo tayo eh, di ba? So, yun yung difference talaga. But siguro just to end, we appreciate Kai Balungay. Like, don't get us wrong. Very important player to
MVP contender ko nga eh.
MVP contender ni Maui. We look up to him.
MVP contender ko si Kai.
Correct. So, it's just need din sa team. So, agree. Jared Brown will be missed more than Kai. Especially, as of right now, January 7, wala pa tayong confirmation from Jared Bahay na pupunta siyang Ateneo. So, mas lalo na kailangan si Brown. Last statement. Another point guard, Jared Brown, one of the top point guards in the previous season. We'll talk about another top point guard, Kean Baclaan, who has confirmed na he is leaving NU. He has said his goodbyes, pero wala pang confirmation on what team he will be going to. But just like Jared Bahay, a lot of people speculating he's going to LaSalle. So if that means if he's going to LaSalle, he will be playing in season 88. So he needs to take 1 year off residency, and then he will play in season 88. And according to rumors, parang one of the guys that really recruited Baclaan was KQ. And according to our friend Apo, nag-tweet na daw si KQ. Naglalaro siya sa season 88 as mentioned by Ka. So, this is the statement. Baclaan and KQ will play together in season 88. Swak, Sax, o Sablay? Gab, let's end with you.
Okay, I will go first. I want to say Sablay because I want KQ to go pro already. I mean, he's too good for the UAAP now. Yung mag-pro na siya. However, I think he has that kind of I don't want to that loyalty to LaSalle. I mean, he brought a championship to LaSalle. I think he's very appreciative of the community there, and the fact that he tweeted a picture of him and Kean Baclaan and saying in season 88 makes me think na medyo sucks to. I mean, I think if he gets a really good offer abroad, I think he will take it. No, again, he's way past the UAAP level already. He's just that good already. But I think that he should leave already. I really think that KQ should take the money and cash in on his prime basketball years, as we've been saying all this time, and he should go pro. But if Kean Baclaan and KQ combine, that's possibly another championship on the way for LaSalle. And I just want to say to Kean Baclaan, tatlong schools, if ever you switch to another team, it's got to be 3 schools in the UAAP na nalilipatan mo in the span of what? 3 or 2 or 3 years.
The journeyman.
What a journey.
High school, ganun din siya. The journeyman.
No complete.
Grabe si Kean Baclaan. What if may plot twist? Sa UP siya pupunta. Oh, season 88, wala si JD.
Dahil wala na si
diba?
Bahay, biglang si Baclaan pala na UP bound. That would be
kasi
anyway,
UP gets NU players, 'di ba? So baka
yun nga rin eh. Yung that's how I was thinking. He's also from NU. UP loves getting NU's players. So what if he announces for UP, 'di ba?
Anyway, basagin na ni Coach Jeff lahat ng Starbucks tumbler noon pag UP na naman pumuntahan sa NU. Diba?
Magwawala yun.
Magwawala na si Coach Jeff noon. That would be crazy. But I would say that siguro sucks. Kasi you feel with KQ nga yung sense of loyalty. But to me, it would be ludicrous for him to stay another year. Season 88 for Lasal. Remember, KQ is turning 23 years old this season. That's another prime year for KQ. I mean, you just won MVP. You won the UAAP championship. I don't know if it's the championship high saying that he's gonna play another year come season 88. But I think that KQ should go pro after season 87. It would be crazy for me, di ba? It would be crazy kasi he's gonna be 24 if that happens. He has to maximize yung playing years niya. He's too good in the UAAP. I think we said this about Carl Tamayo previous seasons. He's just too good to play in the UAAP. He has to go elsewhere, develop his skill set. But to me, I think the good thing with Kevin Kiambao is regardless if he's too good, he keeps on working. I think yun yung number one trait ni Kevin Kiambao is he's definitely a hard worker, a gym rat. So maybe if he stays in the UAAP, it would bode well eventually. But to me, maybe it's really time to go pro. You will get better resources for your training. You will get probably a bigger salary. I'm not sure how much money Lasal has been putting in the bag for Kevin Kiambao for him to even consider returning for season 87. Di ba? Medyo it's crazy. I think that Kevin Kiambao is definitely, this season will be that season for Kevin Kiambao to fully convert to a wing. A guard wing versus a big wing. And I think that he would be primed to go pro. But yeah, malay mo nga, like Gab said, we're talking about Baclaan and KQ playing together, but maybe another team is trying to snag also Baclaan. It's kind of weird that he announced that he's leaving NU with no indication where he's going. So like Jared Bahay, we're left in the air. What's gonna happen? If the UAAP has shown us the past 2 seasons, anything can happen. Impossible is nothing. Diba? It could be a crazier off season than the previous season. But yeah, I really think that same as Gab, Kevin Kiambao has to go pro after this season. Sayang yung prime years, in my opinion. Sam.
Anyway, I just wanted to add something,
Go.
If Kean Baclaan is gonna go somewhere, it must be in a situation where, he's gonna get the ball a lot. Because in NU, he was the guy. He was him. So, I mean, if he really is going to Lasal, that must mean that, maybe a Jacob Cortez is not going there. Kasi if he's sharing the court with Jacob Cortez,
that would be crazy.
And with diba? And with Kevin Kiambao, he's like a 2A or a 2B option. Diba? In NU, he was the number 1 offensive option. I mean, he had all the freedom in the world to do whatever he wanted. So yun lang ang iniisip ko for Kean Baclaan. It must be a pretty good basketball situation too, where he's going,
Or a huge bag.
Or a huge bag. I mean, totoo na naman. And another point I wanted to make, for the team he's leaving, for the school he's leaving, NU, it's Reinhard Humamoy time, baby. I'm a big fan of Reinhard Humamoy, and he showed flashes last season. He had 21 points against Ateneo. Cannot forget that. During my wedding.
During your wedding. Yes, correct.
He pissed me off during my wedding. But yeah, it's Reinhard Humamoy time, baby. I mean, Steve Nash Enriquez does not have the scoring chops as Reinhard Humamoy does. And I think Reinhard Humamoy would be ripe to take over that starting point guard slot for NU. And man, I can't wait to see him play bigger minutes for NU next season. Sammy.
Just good point, Gab, no? Siguro, just to end it, I'm gonna go Sablay. Gonna go Sablay dito. Not even Swak, I'm just gonna say Sablay. Kasi to echo what Maui said about Jared Bahay 1 year ago, mahaba-haba pa ang panahon, no? Matagal-tagal pa ang panahon before season 88. A lot of things can happen. So I'm just gonna say there are too many variables that can change. So Baclaan could decide to go somewhere else. KQ could decide to go pro. I'm gonna go with Sablay. It's too far into the future to say or guarantee na this will happen. But I do think na they're both considering Lasal. Pero good point, no, Gab? Parang basically what you're saying then was, because he left NU, it must have been a much better situation for him than NU, which was already a good situation for him. So, interesting to see kung saan din yun. Na willing siya mag-residency kung UAAP yun. Go, Mama.
I would even argue that there will be no better situation than NU.
Than
for
NU.
Kean Baclaan.
Actually, that's a pretty good statement, now. I mean, NU was perfect for him. I mean, he had the backing of his coach. He had all the touches in the world. I have no idea where he's what other situation would give him that kind of freedom and stability.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's it for our Swak Sak Sablay segment. Happy to be doing another podcast again with you guys this 2024. And I hope to our listeners out there, I know mini-message nyo si Maui for an episode. This is it. We'll continue to cover more UAAP news as we wait for season 87. Comment down below yung mga answers nyo dun sa 5 statements natin. Swak, Sak, Sablay. Let us know why you think yun yung answer nyo, why you think that is. And don't forget, like, share with your friends. If you haven't yet, subscribe. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.